Firstborn Judaism. The firstborn or firstborn son, Hebrew bəḳōr, is an important concept in Judaism. The role of firstborn son carries significance in the redemption of the firstborn son, in the allocation of a double portion of the inheritance, and in the prophetic application of firstborn to the nation of Israel. Etymology and usage. The Semitic root bəḳōr means early or first in ancient Near East Semitic languages. Classical Hebrew contains various verbs from the bəḳōr stem with this association. The plural noun bəķūrim, vegetable firstfruits, also derives from this root. The masculine noun bəḳōr, firstborn, is used of sons, as Canaan begat Sidon his firstborn, Genesis 10:15, whereas the feminine noun and female equivalent is bəḳōra bəķūra, firstborn daughter, such as Leah, Genesis 29:26. Derived from bəḳōr is the qualitative noun bəḳōra, birthright, bəķōra, related to primogeniture, such as that which Esau sold to Jacob. In the plural, this qualitative noun birthright can also mean firstlings, as when Abel brought out the firstborn bəḳōra, feminine plural, bəķōra, of his flock to sacrifice, Genesis 4:4. Hebrew Bible. The earliest account of primogeniture to be widely known in modern times involved Isaac's son Jacob being born second, Genesis 25:26, and Isaac's son Esau being born first, Genesis 25:25, and entitled to the birthright, but eventually selling it to Isaac's second son, Jacob, for a small amount of food, Genesis 20. According to the law of Moses, the firstborn may be either the firstborn of his father, who is entitled to receive a double portion of his father's inheritance compared to the other siblings, Deuteronomy 21:17, or the firstborn of his mother. Deuteronomy 21:15-17 provides inheritance rules preventing the husband with more than one wife from leaving property to the son of the favored wife. Death of the firstborn of Egypt. The Egyptians also attached significance to primogeniture and birthright. The death of Pharaoh and the Egyptians' firstborn sons at the first Passover is direct recompense for God's identification of Israel as his own firstborn. Israel as God's firstborn and firstborn. In Exodus, Moses is instructed to say to Pharaoh, "Thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, my firstborn." Exodus 4:22. This is prophetically attached to Ephraim, the kingdom of Israel, in Jeremiah 31:9. Animal firstborn or firstlings. Aside from the sacrifice of the firstlings by Abel, the law of Moses also prescribes special distinction of animal firstborn. The Second Temple and Dead Sea Scrolls. The understanding of Israel as the national firstborn of God is found in the Dead Sea Scrolls 1Q/4Q instruction, and probably 4Q 369, the Prayer of Enosh, as well as in Ben Sira. Hellenistic and Diaspora Judaism. The concept of the firstborn was heavily present in Hellenistic Judaism among the Second Temple diaspora. In the Septuagint, Israel, then Ephraim, are God's prototokos firstborn. The use of firstborn is taken further along figurative lines. In the pseudepigraphical testament of Abraham, disease is personified as the prototokos firstborn of Thanatos, the personification of death. In Joseph and Asenath, the converted Egyptian princess Asenath prepares to marry Joseph as the prototokos firstborn of her new god, the God of Israel. Philo of Alexandria comments on the inheritance rights of the firstborn in Deuteronomy, greatly emphasizing and embellishing the superiority of Mosaic law over Egyptian models. Rabbinical interpretation. The firstborn's service to the Jewish people. Originally, the firstborn of every Jewish family was intended to serve as a priest in the temple in Jerusalem as priests to the Jewish people, but they lost this role after the sin of the golden calf, when this privilege was transferred to the male descendant. However, according to some, this role will be given back to the firstborn in a third temple when Messiah comes. Until this time, they say, a firstborn son still has certain other roles. Besides receiving double the father's inheritance and requiring a Pidyon Haben, a firstborn son is supposed to fast on the eve of Passover. Fast of the firstborn, and in the absence of a Levite, a bəḳōr washes the hands of the Kohen prior to blessing the Israelites. See priestly blessing. Animal firstborns. In the Hebrew Bible, the feminine plural noun bəḳōra is used to describe firstlings of a flock. In rabbinical Hebrew, the masculine noun bəḳōr is also used of the firstborn animal to open the womb of its mother. The animal firstborn beast Hebrew bəḳōr behema bkvr bhmh is listed as one of the 24 priestly gifts. Today, when there is no temple in Jerusalem, most Jewish believers do not give firstborn animals to Kohanim. Instead, it is customary to sell the mother animal to a non-Jew before it gives birth to the firstborn, and then buy back both the animal and its firstborn. Other Abrahamic religions. The importance of the literal firstborn son is not as greatly developed in Christianity and Islam as it is in Judaism. Christianity applies the concept of firstborn to Jesus of Nazareth as firstborn from the dead and adopts the Septuagint terminology prototokoi plural to describe the church as firstborns. Muslim scholars traditionally consider Ishmael as the firstborn of Abraham mentioned in Quran 37.103. However, Islamic law contains no preference for the firstborn son. References